on this fun-filled thing, I gotta talk about something. So, anyways, excuse me. Um, so the 30th of this month is the Winds Meet, the final third map installment, and I'm gonna be quite honest here. Um, Ever since Hexy came out, I know there were a lot of people who said that the first part was kind of bad. The second part was pretty good, but I'm gonna get down to it all. Honestly, I've been hearing a lot of talk now about why or stay the state of the game. Now, let's get one thing straight. The game isn't really dying to say. The issue that is to be is apparently Winsmeet has been having player retention issues, uh, which is very common in some MMOs. But I think if you really got down to nitty gritty of it, it's normally I want to say it's more of the time gating, the stamina regeneration, which basically what I'm saying is it comes down to it when the devs did a good job with the game itself, all in all. I ain't gonna lie about anything here, and I'm not sugarcoating it for anything in that anything in that matter. But I am going to be honest about a lot of other things that become relevant.
Treasure basin, blessed by the Emperor of East himself. Not 9,991, nor 8,000,
And
just 1,000 for a blessed treasure basin.
so, yeah, I kind of feel like sometimes that the time gating part is an issue on its own. Um, and it's not so much time gating. I think it's the fact that with the player retention being all-time high, according to Steam, there's about 18,000 people still playing it on Steam. Council is going to be another, I want to say like another 10,000. So you're looking at maybe about 30 to 40,000 people are still playing it. I think when you also have like less content in a game like this, when it's drip fed, it becomes an issue. And sometimes that alone, that doesn't keep a lot of people playing during, like with all the other stuff that has happened, like, the content and stuff like that.
So many folks from way young.
And it's your basic thing where, I guess what I'm trying to say is you as a player, when it gets that boring, you basically have to go play a different game because, I mean, nobody's going to sit around and wait for the time gating. I'm not going to lie. And I think the other thing is, like, when you have more gear, if you have 90 or 91 gear, that doesn't help. Because you gotta recycle you have to get rid of the gear you currently have rather than updating it. And I think the biggest issue I think, with that being said, you don't really, you basically lose interest. It's kind of like, I know I'm going back in it, but the gear itself is like you have to constantly grind for the gear. Sorry, I lost track there for a moment, but it's it's a continual gear grinding. It's an absolute marathon, and when you do a grind on and on and on, I mean, that doesn't. I guess what I'm saying is it's not as enjoyable. The other thing I don't like that's an absolute mess, in my own personal opinion, is the PvP arena. I've done the PvP arena multiple times, and I'm going to be honest, it's really not that good. The a lot of other issues as well. Like apparently, there's some other content creators, not so much as myself, but we've actually seen a majority of cheaters still playing the game. It's kind of like one of those things that ruin everything for everybody else deal there. And apparently there's like a few YouTubers who made that evidently clear. So, having that being said, I think the devs, in all honest, they really need to primarily bring back, or not bring back, but what was I going to say here? I think the devs have to really work on something new and exciting, because if not, you lose that retention. And when the first Hexy land dropped, it was an apparent issue that I guess what I'm saying is you don't, when you do a certain story, it doesn't really it doesn't kick off well with a lot of other like what people were expecting, basically. So yeah, and this is kind of like the first time I'm doing this little chat truth thing here about what's going on in Wins Meet. Because normally I'm always on Twitch, so yeah. And the other thing is sometimes like you have Twitch streamers who, even like on like Twitch and YouTube streamers, they don't show you the exact things that go on. What I'm saying is like some of the videos that people watch are just basically misleading. And my biggest thing is, well, when people, like content creators of any kind, they apparently will just do a clickbait, which, I mean, it depends on defense. And I usually don't stand up for people that usually clickbait. Or I don't, what I'm trying to say is that I don't defend for them.
Whoa, hold on.
So, what I'm trying to really get at here is when you have certain creators that are going out and doing this sort of thing where they say, yeah, okay, we want to talk about like stuff here, or the rants, or they say like, you know, some people say, well, Wins Meet's dying. It's really not. It's going through a cycle change. It's going through a change where, I mean, yeah, okay, the average new player who plays Wins Meet is probably going to play it for like a short duration. And then somebody like me who's been playing it, I mean, I don't sit in front of the console like 24/7. Let me just say that right now. I've only spent about 447 or 500 hours into the game. But what I'm trying to say is, I'm not one of those type of people that is going to tell you a lie or sugarcoat it. So it comes down to, I guess I'm saying it comes down to like being a truthful individual and saying what it really is. Because I mean, let's think about this. I mean, retention, the player retention, yeah, okay, it's bad. New players will play it for like, I probably want to say they'll play it for a little bit, and then primarily stop playing because there's a Windspeed doesn't have really Windspeed has a steep learning curve or lack of, so it's kind of like you have to for new players. It's almost like you have to guess where you're going, and at times when you do that, it can be frustrating. It can be overwhelming, and I think, I mean, the only thing that they teach you to do in the beginning part of the game is, block, attack, just like little stuff here and there. But even then, the opening part when you're fighting the Kahitan forces, um, when you're on horseback and you're trying to shoot a bow and arrow, yeah, they have a little tutorial, but it's really not enough to have somebody get well endowed into the game, and not have an understanding of what's going on. And that's an issue. And that also goes for anything with the devs too. Like the devs should probably add something there where maybe make it easier for people who haven't done it. I mean, what I'm trying to say is like have it where you basically make it a little bit more easier to understand, for the game in general. Because a lot of new players, they'll play it like maybe for a couple hours, get frustrated, especially if it's the puppeteer. And the puppeteer, when I first did it, yeah, I mean, me being a Souls veteran, yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, not everybody can get through it without no problem. So as you're playing the game, yeah, there's some things that should be a little bit more better explained, and also, hold on 1 second. Well, what I'm trying to say is like, I think sometimes like developers usually do one thing that might be cool on paper and might be cool as a concept, but when you're doing things that are not cool, meaning that without knowing the actual statistics, but excuse me. But anyways, the biggest issue we have is the lack of content, the time gating. There's a lot that the devs could have done more for the game. What else do we have? We still have the cheaters in game, PvP arena, and how much can you really grind up to a point? Because the moment you get what you need, the less chances you want to keep playing because you're going to have to. It's a constant marathon, constant grind. And I actually had lost a friend or two during this whole thing.
Inner circle, summer.
So yeah. The reason why I lost a friend too, because I actually spoke the truth about something. And the truth is that, you know, it's nice to have a partnership, you know, on Twitch. But for me in general, and I'm going to be honest, I mean, I don't like to talk about it. I don't want to, but being in that creator program thing with, you know, with this game in general, I don't see myself really, like, I mean, yeah, they had a contest I entered and, you know, tried to win the $10,000 thing. You know, you win, the grand prize was $10,000. You know, and there's people that also try to cutthroat it. And, you know, they try to win it. But again, you know, being in the grand prize, winning $10,000, I mean, yeah, that would have been kind of cool. But, again, I'm not like, you know, for me, like, I kind of, I mean, I'm doing this thing on YouTube, but when you're playing Wins Meat, it does get boring. You lose interest, and when you do, you don't want to play it very much. Which I've come to realize about that. My whole thing is I got bored very easily, and I've been taking a bit of a hiatus. Well, not by much, but just enough to be like getting away from it all. And so yeah, I think that, you know, I think that devs need to really I really think that devs need to do something about keeping the players, you know, wanting to, you know, keep playing, rather than just time gate, or, like I said, you know, rather than just time gating, or putting limitations onto certain things that, you know, I mean, the big difference between American gamers versus people out in Asia that game, American gamers are more hell-bent trying to, you know, grind. I get what, you know, they do in China, but, you know, maybe sometimes, I guess what I'm trying to say is give the Westerners what they want. I know it sounds kind of, you know, bad, but for me, in all honesty, I'm okay with it. Like, I'm okay for me having to have that limitation. Yeah, okay, yeah, like I just said, it's boring, but at least, you know, I could do other things. But, you know, it is what it is. Though, the only complaint I have is with the little, is with the, no, fine. Ain't gonna work. You need a fire one. But, yeah, that's the only thing I can cover about. So, unfortunately, I'm just doing this little truth thing, not very much. I'm sorry that it didn't come out the way it was supposed to for wording, but in all honesty, like if I had something to really go by on, like numbers and stuff like that, then I would actually say it for what it really is. I think next time I will come up, I will pull up the actual, the actual, the actual numbers and stuff, and fill everybody in. It's not big, Again, I guess, I guess in a sense, like I know, like I was big about it, like me promoting Wins Me, being part of the Creator Incentive Program, which is fine. I just don't like I really don't like how it's just gotten so monotonous, and there's nothing I can really say about it. So, anyways, yeah, that's the truth of it all. I'm sorry I could have been a little bit more, I wish I was a little bit more better at elaborating it, but it's very rare do I ever talk. Well, it's very rare for me to be on YouTube and talk about it. So, yeah. But again, I'm not gonna. I mean, you can only make small little miracles and wishes on what the devs can do and what they can't do. So, anyways, make sure you leave a like and click on the subscription and check out more notifications. Anyways, I'm out.